Hey, it's me, Marty Leonards. We are backstage at Lollapalooza in the XRT Lollapalooza Radio Lounge, and I'm joined by one of our favorite artists who we met 5 years ago today, right here at Lollapalooza. We're here with Hozier.
Hey.
That was 5 years ago today.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy thought,
And as I recall, I don't know if you remember this, but we were in a different space. We had our own dedicated space at the time, and when you came back to talk to us, you didn't have the proper credentials to get back and see us. So
it sounds about right. Sounds right.
It took a little while for you to be able to come back and talk to us. But man, look how things have changed in 5 years.
Look at that. Yeah. I'm hoping to have my own kind of system of credentials. So people need credentials to see me. Well, we're years away from another 5 years. I promise you.
Man, where would I get those? Wow. Well, welcome back to Lollapalooza.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again.
And welcome here on XRT, because we love it whenever you come by. Earlier this year, you got to play on our Blue Cross Blue Shield stage, which was a really nice performance.
Yeah, super fun.
Now that was in advance of the new album of Wasteland Baby.
Yeah.
Now let's go back a little bit. When you did play here 5 years ago, things kind of went crazy for you. You toured for a long time.
Yeah, it was a long tour. Yeah, and there was a lot of territories we were touring, and I suppose it was very fortunate in a lot of ways to find audiences that I could kind of perform to. But it was important, I think, I took a breather after that. It was 2.5 years out of a suitcase, so it was just nice to decompress after that and concentrate on what music I had hoped to make then following that. But
so during the breather, did you start writing songs during that time, or did you just completely decompress and take some time off?
Yeah, I was kind of processing ideas. I think I took a few months before I started making demos again. But and I had on the road, I'd collected hundreds of little voice memos and little scribbled notes of song ideas. But yeah, soon after I kind of started working on tunes again, which was that's a good feeling, and I'd missed that, for me the first love is really hammering together songs and making something that hasn't existed before that's
right.
Super exciting,
Yeah, it's amazing how times change also. I mean, you're a very thoughtful and feeling person. You can get that in the music, you really do. And these times are so anxious. Boy, how does that work into your music?
I think it definitely found its way into Wasteland Baby, and hence the kind of title is kind of just playing with a sort of a cultural wasteland and a moral wasteland of our times, and the kind of title track Wasteland Baby definitely tries to kind of confront that anxiety, as in the most extreme form of let's say imagining the end of the world scenario. But I don't know. I think there was some songs in that I felt I needed to kind of get off my back, and again it was that sense of anxiety and doom and gloom, and the sense of the worst is yet to come, and then still in a lot of those songs just trying to reach for some warm center and we have the actuality of that anxiety, and we have the actuality of kind of the ugly side of things that we see at the moment, and then we have the actuality of kindness and tenderness and hope and solidarity that are real and are tangible, and it was just trying to reach to that as well.
Right.
Too.
And the anxiety that we are feeling and that everyone is not just in any one country. It seems to be global.
Oh, very much so.
Wow, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I don't know, yeah, a huge amount of this is it's across the world, and it's I could go into it. I don't know. We could be here all day. But yeah, of course, and very very similar political trends in kind of how ruling class and political class have stirred the pot on that anxiety has been seen across the world. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Well, your songs somewhat address it, but you also can find comfort as a listener in the songs too, which is very nice.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on Wasteland Baby. The first song that we got from it was a song that you did with someone who lives in this city.
Yeah.
You worked with Mavis Staples.
Yes.
Boy, that must have been something, huh?
That was a dream. Yeah, it really was. We had met, or we had crossed paths a few times. We were on similar kind of similar touring schedule. Mavis Staples tours as hard as I do, works as hard as I do, has as much energy, if not more energy, than I have. And I would have given my right arm to do something with Mavis, and it never came to fruition on the first time round. And so when that song started to be written, it was clear to me it was kind of really written for Mavis, and she's named in the song, obviously. There's somebody whose legacy is just not only. I just think it's very, very important, and there's this incredible bravery in the legacy of the Staples singers' work and what it represented, but yeah, working with her was an absolute dream. We recorded in the Chicago Recording Company, and she's one of the most incredible people I've ever met, really, I have to say.
Have you performed that song on stage with her?
I have indeed, yeah.
Wow, how was that?
Yeah, it's really, really great. We've done a few TV shows, and I just came from Newport Folk Festival, up in Rhode Island, and we got to share a stage a couple of times. And
wow,
it's always a joy. She is the greatest. Yeah.
The song "Nina Cried Power." We should say the name of the song.
Oh yeah.
When you were at Newport, you also did a guest shot, or she did a guest shot with you with Brandi Carlile. You invited her up on stage during your set. How did that come about?
Yeah, I'd heard Brandi's a friend of mine, and I've huge respect for her work. I've a lot of love for her and her voice and how she uses that voice and the stories she tells. And I had heard, she had this incredible set where she had Dolly Parton up and Judy Collins. It was just Newport's like nothing else,
Yeah.
And but her set was cut short, and she didn't get a chance to sing "The Joke," which Grammy-nominated song,
right?
And incredible song, very, very important song. And I'd heard that she had to cut that from the set, and so I asked her, would she pop up and sing it with me during mine the following day, and she was totally up for it, and we just ran it and did it. But I was glad, because singing with Brandi is always, again, it's a joy, and she's an incredible artist and an important artist, I feel. So that was really, really, that was a nice memory.
And her songs definitely, with her voice, hit that back row. So both of you singing together, it was pretty magical. That was great.
It was fun. Yeah.
Now, some other songs on the album, Wasteland Baby, that we played here on XRT. I mean, we are sort of playing our way through the album, which is great.
Thank you.
Movement, a beautiful song that is not a dance song, but it's a song about dance.
Sort of, yeah. Song about moving. I think a lot of things kind of found their way, and you were talking about our kind of particular age of anxiety and restlessness, etc. And this 2016, mid 2016, certainly a time where I felt there was a huge amount of movements across both sides of the Atlantic, political or otherwise. And then you have not only that, you have a huge sense of a movement of people, and then also the movement of people from one side of the world to the other, and huge populations of people moving across the world. And it just was that kind of sense of being moved along kind of in the current of that, and being dragged along in the sense of something enormous moving. So kind of playing with the language of you're less, it's not as such that, there's kind of just joking in the lyrics of, it's more Jonah sitting in a whale on top, carried by the ocean, something small carried in a larger thing, sitting upon a much, much larger thing, and just trying to wrap that into a love song, I suppose. About dance.
It works out into this like really dreamy love song, which is pretty nice. And
fun.
The song that we're currently playing a lot is called Almost Sweet Music, and being a jazz fan, boy, that song really struck me, because when I first started getting into jazz, it was, you buy a record and you check out the sidemen, and then you get their work, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Your song is quite a playlist, quite a set list for people to learn about jazz.
Yeah.
You mentioned so many songs. It's really nice.
Yeah, they're kind of, it's like a little, I don't know if it was just the song started as a kind of a private joke to myself of like, these are a lot of the songs I fell in love with, as a kind of in my late teens, early 20s, and then music, I also got a lot of them are old standard love songs, songs I kind of fell in love with, the soundtrack of me also kind of falling in love. So all those feelings that are associated with that, and then the song itself kind of being about trying to listen to a song later on in life and get away from the feelings that it elicits in you and that it evokes in you. But yeah, all the lyrics are just made up of jazz standard titles.
Yeah, it's really cool. And announcing that song on the air, presenting it, without the parenthetical, you're like, almost sweet music, but it's really sweet music. I mean, it's total sweet music.
Yeah, I was hoping that would be. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah.
Well, you're playing tonight here at Lollapalooza. You've got a set which is just going to be wonderful out in the field. It's such a gorgeous night. It's the sun will be setting. It'll be quite an experience. And then you're coming back to Chicago in the fall for shows at the Chicago Theater too.
Yeah. That should be fun. I can't wait. So we're back in the U.S. November, December, actually October, November for a few shows, and Chicago Theater. Can't wait. I don't believe I played that venue, but I
don't think you have, no.
Yeah.
So that'll be really nice. It's a beautiful theater, and none of us are looking forward to November at this point, but we certainly are for the shows. So thanks a lot for stopping by.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Marty Leonards, along with Hozier. We are backstage at Lollapalooza, 93 XRT.